So now we're at what happened. So after all that, 10 years of drinking, nothing would work. Rehab, everything I tried didn't work. AA, rehab, counseling, medicine, heavy medicine. It just didn't work. The alcohol, I couldn't get rid of it. And the whole time I was begging God, whenever I would be in that room, just couldn't hold down water. I could not hold it down for days, thinking I was going to die, dehydrated, just stuck on the bed, smelling like hadn't taken a shower in 3 days. I can't even stand up. I'm so weak. Begging God, free me of this disease, while he kept saying, you are not ready. Nobody wants to hear that. He's just thinking he's ignoring me. He doesn't care about me. Ooh, pity party on me. So this is months of just begging. Please, please, please help me. Please help me. You are not ready. When am I ever going to be ready? How can I not be ready? I'm tired of this. I've never been more ready, God. Please, please, I've never been more ready. No, I don't think you're ready. So I go on about my life, still drinking. Meet this young pastor talking about addiction in the church, and I am drunk. I'm telling you, I remember this day probably better than any day of my life. And I was sitting in those pews listening to him talk, and it hit home. He did it through God. I haven't really tried fixing this through God. I've tried to fix it my way. Maybe I need to fix this God's way. What's God's way? I don't know. But it can't hurt. So as drunk as I was, I get home and I pray. I reach out. His cell phone number was on the back of the bulletin, and I reached out to him and I started telling him who I was and what my problem was, and I had a drinking problem. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know who to turn to at this point. I've tried everything. And he said the key words, I got you. I will be praying for you. Okay. So I'm hungover the next day and feeling terrible. I'd already started a new job, knowing I'm about to go to work on Monday. Oh, feeling terrible. Didn't drink Sunday. I get to work on Monday. Don't drink. Now, God turns to me, and I get home, and I had some alcohol left, and it wasn't much, and I started drinking it. And then I looked at it, and God, in that moment, said, now you are ready. And to this day, I have not touched alcohol, haven't thought about it, haven't wanted it for over 3 months now, and I couldn't go 24 hours for 10 years. Because he finally told me I was ready, and I opened my heart. You can't just tippy-toe into the water. You got to go all in. With this faith, if you're not all in, it's not going to happen for you. You have to be all in. It starts with a belief and a thought, and then God takes care of the rest. But you have to really, truly believe. If you don't truly believe, it's not going to work for you. That's how this is. And I am living testimony. And I tell you, I could not do anything to stop professional help. Doctors, people who have degrees lined up on their wall, who help tons of people, sure. But they couldn't help my anxiety or my drinking problem. I don't take any medication. I don't drink any alcohol. I have no anxiety. Don't get me wrong, you get anxiety, but I don't have nothing to the level of anxiety I had where I was waking up every day, vomiting in the toilet in the morning, every single morning for years. Not just once, years. And then like that. It's just like it just came over me. And here's the best part. Now I can look at it in hindsight and tell him the story. You can say, oh, some of it's coincidence, some of it's coincidence. But let's think about the reality of this. God had that pastor many years ago and had him quit and told him one day, you're going to help others. I want you to be a pastor. One day you're going to walk into a church you don't know, and there's going to be a stranger out there, and you're going to completely change his life. Completely. I didn't know him. Then God shows me this woman who's in a whole nother country, whom I meet online, thinking there's never any chance of something happening here. Brings her to me through pure miracles. And then we get married, and he says to her, he's not ready for almost 3 years of marriage. He's not ready. And she prayed for me every day. And every day he said, he's not ready. But the other thing he did was he says, he may not be ready, but I'm here. I'm not going to let him do anything. I don't care how drunk he gets. He's never going to lay a hand on you. He's never going to cheat on you. He's never going to do anything. And I'm going to be there to make sure that never happens, because you are in his life for a reason. And the man you married and the man of your dreams is there. You just haven't met him yet. And you know he's there. But you're not. He's not ready. It's not time yet. And if she would have left me, I never would have went to that church. Never. If I never would have went to that church, never would have met the pastor. If I never would have met that pastor, I never would have found God. And if I never would have found God, I never would have been healed. Not fixed. Healed of a disease I couldn't kick for over 10 years. And now it's all about perspective. My perspective is completely changed now. Completely. So I stand before you, a sober man, a different man, a man of God who watched the miracle flow through me. I feel better every day than I did the best drunk moments I had in my life. This is 10 times better. There's no drunk that can get me feeling this euphoric ever. There's no drug out there. There's nothing out there that can make me feel this good. And I only tell this story because one day I hope I can pay it forward and change somebody else's life. If it's one person, it's worth it. Just one person, it's worth it. So just know God's always with you. In those 10 years, you better believe I gave up on him, but he never gave up on me. And if God can give his son and be tortured and die on that cross for our sins, you can forgive yourself and he will forgive you of any sin. I know I'm speaking to somebody. It doesn't have to be alcohol, but it's something. Everybody has sin. Everybody has a problem. There's just something you want fixed. You have to give in. You have to believe. I don't know how else to speak it, but it truly is a miracle. It truly is. And trust me, no matter what you say, do, or think, God will never give up on you, as he never gave up on me. And now, I will never give up on him, because he never gave up on me. That's true love. God is great. God truly is great. That's my story.